in the Lone Star Land, with boots on my feet and dreams in my hand. A little sassy but a whole lot of grace. You'll see that fire when you look at my face. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. Barbecue smoke, Friday night lights, cheering for the Astros under Texas skies. A little bit stubborn, a whole lot of charm. This big old heart will keep you warm. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. Barbecue smoke, Friday night lights, cheering for the Astros under Texas skies. A little bit stubborn, a whole lot of charm. This big old heart will keep you warm. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. From the blue bonnet fields to the city streets, every step I take feels like home to me. With a little sass and a lot of pride, this Texas girl's got nothing to hide. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright.
Gummy shoe prints, laid them down the street. Chocolate wrappers hiding secrets sweet. They don't miss a beat, they've got a knack. With licorice ropes pulling answers back. Twist the wrapper to reveal the truth. A sticky web spun by a candy sloop. No sour lies can escape the grip. These lollipops always crack.
Sebastian, sweet boy, where have you gone? The sun sets low, but we keep marching on. The wind whispers your name soft through the pines, a melody aching in these hearts of mine. Roads are endless, the nights are cold, but your story's a light we'll never let go. Where are you, sweet boy Sebastian? We're searching the hills, the rivers, the plains. You deserve better, oh you deserve better. And your army is fighting through heartache and pain. Your laughter once rang like bells through the air. Now silence just lingers, it's more than we can bear. We carry your memory, a flag in our hands. Through shadows and valleys, through shifting sands. The roads are endless, the nights are cold, but your story's a light we'll never let go. Where are you, sweet boy Sebastian? We're searching the hills, the rivers, the plains, you deserve better. Oh, you deserve better, and your army is fighting through heartache and pain. Your laughter once rang through heartache and pain.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? Thank you all so much for being here today. Hope everybody's doing good. Everybody's getting ready for this cold that's fixing to hit. I know we are. My son's been out chopping wood all day. Oh, I went to do a pickup at Walmart, and that place was bonkers. It was crazy. It took me for a pickup over an hour. It was insane. Everybody here is losing their mind thinking it might just snow or a tiny bit of ice. Everybody goes cuckoo. But thank you all for being here. Hello, DJ. Hey, Brenda Sue. Michelle. Hey, Maui. Me and you. Kai. Hello. Miss Kathy. Hello. Hello, Nani. How you doing? There's Miss Rhonda. Hello to you. Jen, my beautiful friend. Hope you're well. Jacqueline, good to see you. Let's see who else we got with us today. Deanna, how are you? Good to see you. Hey, Mama. Good to have you with us today. Let's see here. Texas Plain Jane. Left Field. Hello, Lisa King. How are you? Linda, hello to you. Let's see here. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Teresa. Let's see. Anybody else sneaking in here? There's our Daisy Dukes. And looky there. Retha Bell. Hello to you, beautiful. Let's see here. Let me get through here. Hey, Mama. Oh, I already said hey to you, Mama. Well, hey again. Want to be sleuthing. Hello to you, and thank you so much. I appreciate you. I did get me some Pepsis. Oh, gotta have those Pepsis if I can. Kelly East, good to see you. Hi, Ryan. How are you? Cecilia, hello. Anybody else coming in? There's Justine. How are you doing? Good to see you today. There's our Kiki. She been running crazy herself today. She didn't get a chance to go live. She's getting bad storms in Tennessee up there too. Little Miss Sharon, good to see you. Half full prayers for Seth today. Yes, today and every day. Let's see here. Elaine, hello to you. Good to see you. Anybody else sneaking in here? There's our beautiful Tam. How are you? Good to see you. Love you so big. Let's see here. Trying to make sure I say hey to everybody. Dakota, hello. And let's see here. Narita. Always good to have you with us, Narita. Cool Cougar. Hello to you. Everybody, come on in. Come on in. Come on in. There's our Blue Eyes. Hope you're feeling better, Blue Eyes. Amy Lynn, how are you? Wild Angel, our Roxy R. Good to see you. Let's see here. Anybody else? Anybody else? Krista. Krista's listening in the bushes while she works. We're so glad to have you listen with us. Hope got a secret. How you doing? Good to see you. I want to sing that song from that show. What was it? Pretty Little Liars. My daughter was so into that show, and she would watch it so much. I would sing that song when they played it. Got a secret? Can you keep it? I think of that every time I see your name. Well, I hope everybody's doing good today, having a good day. Happy Thursday to all of you. Those just listening, hello to you, and thank y'all so much for being here. Icy Bama, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Listening from the bushes as well at work. Well, thank y'all so much for listening, even when you're working. Y'all have a good day at work. Michelle's got everything laid out, ready to go. What weather are you getting, Lolly? Well, we're supposed to get some freezing rain and sleet. We're praying for just sleet because, that doesn't stick to the power lines and things. And it doesn't take much ice before our power lines here will just snap. And that's when we go without electricity. Back in 2021, we had a pretty good ice storm, had snow with it, and what's work? Right, Jen? And we went, there were several, like we're talking in the double digit thousands of people for 3 weeks without any electricity. The state of Texas lost like 220 people, I think, due to the weather. Our power lines here, they're just not sustainable for that type of weather because we don't get it very often. We might have some super cold weather. There may be a little dust and a snow here and there where we're at, but that's about it. And they're saying this weather that's coming this weekend is going to be historic. So it means it will be worse than it was last time. So, like I said earlier, went to do a pickup order at Walmart, and it was over an hour that I was sat there, and that store was packed. I had to circle around 3 times before I could even get into one of the numbers for my pickup. And so everybody goes crazy. If there's a hurricane coming in anywhere close to Houston or Beaumont area, and sometimes just right over into Louisiana, the stores go crazy. They'll wipe the shelves clean, stocking up, storing up, just in case, hurricanes affect us more than the cold weather does. Because if it comes in anywhere from just south of Houston over into Louisiana, on the west side of Louisiana, and comes up, there's a good chance East Texas will get hit. And it's usually still pretty strong by the time it gets to us. The stores are crazy. Yeah, that's how it is here. It's quite funny, but I was like, of all days for me to decide to do a pickup order. And I didn't have much. And people, they had massive amounts of grocery stuff that they were getting. I saw one cart come out and they had 6 things, 6 little big old bag things of water. And then, a bunch of groceries on top. Kiki said a squirrel goes across our lines and the power goes out. Pretty close to what it is here. But I'm just hoping we don't have to go that long without power, because it's going to be cold. Cold. But thank goodness my son's house here, they have a fireplace. And if I had to, I'd go to my daughter's because they have a built-in generator that runs their whole entire house. So they don't even realize when the lights go out. Oh my goodness, your pickup order was large and they put each individual item in its own bag. Oh, Lord. Good golly. Oh, work harder, work smarter, not harder, right? Some people just, I don't know. I never heard so many horns honking at Walmart. People were just losing their patience just in the parking lot. I saw one person circling around looking for a space to get into the pickup number, and there was no open one, and he's driving around honking his horn. It's like, it ain't going to make us leave. In Georgia, they even still clean the shelves of milk in the summer. Oh, gosh. When my kids were still at home, all 3 of them were still home and everything. And my husband at the time, he would, every time a hurricane was coming through, he did it. When Hurricane Katrina came through and when Ike came through, Ike came right over the top of us and stalled out over the top of us. Blew our fence lines down. We lost power. Trees were falling everywhere. It was crazy. But before it hits, he runs to the store and he would buy 3 things of Bluebell ice cream. And I'm like, what are you doing? If we lose power, that's just going to melt. He said, no, we're all going to just eat it out of the carton. My kids were so excited because it was hurricane time and Daddy was going to buy some ice cream. It never made sense to me. But what else do you do when there's no power? You just eat ice cream. I remember our power came on first during Ike. Our fence was down and the lady behind us, the row of houses behind us, didn't have electricity, and they were opening Walmart up, and she worked at Walmart, and she come over and knocked on the door. She said, can I run a couple extension cords hooked together to come to your house so I can at least use a blow dryer on my hair? So we kept her a big old long extension cord hooked up so she could have it for whatever they needed. Oh goodness. Fun times. But everybody stay warm for sure. I know tomorrow night is when everything's starting to hit here. My best friend lives in West Texas. She said it is already starting to drop she sent me a message a while ago. She said, "Oh my gosh, it's here." And the weather was dropping fast. Kiki goes, "Now I'm ordering ice cream." I'm telling you, the kids would sit there and they would just have a spoon, eat it out of the carton because it was going to melt. There was also a line outside for people wanting to charge their cars. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about charging cars. Oh, that would stink. Oh my goodness. My son has a generator and he's got two big ones. And one of the generators that he got has actual USB plugs in the top with the regular plugs as well. I recall riding out the Aftermath with Whitney Houston CD, a Walkman, a big pack of batteries, and the sixth Harry Potter book. I want to be sleuthing. And those are some good old days right there. Oh, goodness. Bluebell is good. Oh, it is the best. The best in the world. And let me tell y'all, there was a time where Bluebell had some listeria or something like that. There was something bad with one of their machines, and their ice cream was no good. So they took it all off the shelf. They had to completely strip down machines and sanitize every tiny part. And I'm telling you, my husband and kids at the time, I thought they were going to have withdrawals. And it was getting serious because there was no Bluebell ice cream to go get. And yeah, Bluebell. It is made in Texas. It's made in Brenham. Yeah, it's some good stuff. I mean, there's other ice creams that are good, but Bluebell, I don't know. It's just yummy. It's the best. It's kind of expensive, but it is well worth it. Well worth it. But my kiddos and them, when they shut down Bluebell for a while, woo, you would think this area had lost their minds. Everybody was having withdrawals. Couldn't play his games, so he came in while I'm in a bath and sat on the floor and asked, "Well, what are we going to play? Hangman?" That is funny. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. I know my kids, the first time when Katrina hit, it was real bad with Katrina. None of us were prepared. And we were getting people coming in by droves because they weren't sure if it was going to make that quick turn towards Houston or if it was going to go on in up to New Orleans. So it was anywhere in that area, and all those places were just migrating up. And we had evacuees from Houston all the way to New Orleans coming up our way. And everybody's trying to buy gas because the lines were so long on the road. It was just inching along, and they were burning gas just trying to get so far down the road. And there were people here that had evacuated their homes that rode out the hurricane, packed under underpasses, up inside the car washes, anywhere they could find a place to go up under. Cars were everywhere. It was crazy. It was the weirdest thing because I was going to run to the our grocery store here. It's got a pharmacy, and I was going to go pick up some medicine for my son's headaches. And I come around that corner. Cars were everywhere. People were sitting on top of the Dairy Queen. People were sitting all over the sides of the roads because they had ran out of gas. Cars were just sitting random places because they didn't have no gas. Our gas was gone. It was crazy. We finally got our generator and got it running, and we went driving around. The kids wanted to go drive around for a while. We came back and our generator died, and somebody had siphoned all the gas out. We had a window unit that we always kept just in case, and somebody siphoned our gas out of our generator. It was crazy, but there was no gas. They couldn't get a gas truck up in here. So that happened for like days and days and days into weeks. And it was like in October. And in October in Texas, it's still hot. Very hot. And all that rain and stuff just made it humid. Oh, it was miserable. Absolutely miserable. But anyways, I guess enough talking about all that. Thank you for all being here. Hang on, Kiki. Let me get over to you. Kiki gonna come up with us today. Hello. Your mic is muted. Can you hear me, Kiki? Your mic is muted. It's a moral obligation. Oh, hey, Angel of Light. Good to see you. Welcome to everybody coming in. Kiki, can you hear us? Hello, hello. While we're getting her sorted out and figured out, if y'all don't mind, hit that thumbs up for us. If you haven't subscribed, we would love to have you part of our team over here. And we've got the memberships. The iPhone link is pinned at the top of both chats, vertical and horizontal. We would love to have y'all. It's a great way to help the channel grow and support us over here with what all we're doing. Well, I guess it didn't work. Maybe she'll try it again. So anyways, thank you all. I tell you, generators are amazing. And we always just kept a window unit in our shed because there was a time we had a storm come through that tore down a bunch of trees. It had like some rotation to it, but it wasn't a tornado. And we were without power for quite a while. So after that, we went and bought a window unit and kept it in there in the shed, and we would put it out. Still muted.
I push buttons.
Silly girl, haven't you learned from me? Don't push buttons.
Mm-mm.
How you doing?
Pretty good. Drinking coffee, doing all the laundry and everything, you know.
All the mom things.
Yeah, yeah. You were talking about, you know, the hurricanes and stuff. I remember a few years ago, and I seen it on my YouTube earlier. Do you remember when the Gatlinburg fires came to Tennessee?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that we got evacuated because it was getting really close to where we were at.
Oh my goodness.
Because it was coming out. You could literally like it wasn't even in Gatlinburg at that time. You know what I'm saying? It had spread so far that you could literally go to the end of the driveway and look, and you would see all the fires and the smoke. Just it was scary.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is kind of scary.
Yeah, I saw one of those things. on, the videos on that
Yeah.
today. And I thought, I remember that because I was afraid our house, it was within probably so many
Every
miles we've seen it. So.
yeah, everybody's in chat saying, "Stay away from the buttons."
Yeah, I can't see chat because see what I did. I came in, I didn't push unmute, and I clicked on the chat to be able to see it, and bye bye, it went to Google. So,
Yeah.
but
Well, let's get started, guys. Today's title, of course, what do they know on the dark side? A lot of those channels for a while was covering Sebastian, and then it just totally, they had meltdowns and started covering another creator, and that's how it went from there. But it wasn't long ago that Elevated Truth did a live, and I don't know who peed in his cereal that morning, but he was awful upset, and he started saying some things that kind of makes me wonder, what is it that they know over there? What's really going on? Because he even talked about all the distraction that is happening on purpose. We talked about how Mr. Chris seems to on purpose say little things, and it makes us all question what the heck. So we're going to play this today, and all credit goes to Lady Freedom because we're going to play her live, or her video that she did. And of course, we got to give credit to him as well. So both of the links are in the description of the video, and I will put this on the screen because words that are going to be said are not the most pleasant words you'll hear. Very raw, very dramatic. So definite trigger warning. So credit all goes to Lady Freedom for this. And here we go. And let me tell you, it starts out with the trigger warning. Hey, Sammy G. Here we go, guys. Let me get this bigger here.
If you motherfuckers really cared about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, you would be supporting the people who are actively looking for him, who are actively using their channels and their platform for positivity.
Well, he ain't lying there.
And before anybody gets it twisted, that goes for Clue too.
He calling them all out.
That's not a dog or a diss. It's an even playing field. That goes for everybody. There's different. Stop playing with this young man's life.
That's right.
Y'all can talk all the shit you want about truth. You can talk all the shit and say anything you want to about me. Cool. But someone's got to stand up and say, this shit is bullshit.
100%. Sadly, though, he goes far, far left away from everything he's saying right now.
Seth, where are you at? Where are you searching? Chris and Katie, where the fuck are you at? Where are y'all searching?
Legit right there.
Mr. and Miss Bowersox, where the fuck are y'all at?
Woo!
Why aren't y'all searching?
He calling them all out.
Seth's mom and dad, where are y'all at? Why aren't y'all searching? extended family members, cousins. Where are y'all at? What are y'all searching? And don't give me the bullshit that law enforcement told you not to talk to the media because TBI came out. I mean, not TBI. Sumner County came out and said the family would like us to say that they don't have a comment at this point. But we know that the reporters are going to do what they're going to do. So what's up with that bullshit? This whole time we can't talk to media, but you can use content creators to push your fucking narrative.
Wow. Like I said, folks, trigger warning, not the best language used, but I agree with everything he's been saying so far.
Chris, Katie, Seth, the fuck? The fuck? Stop saying you can't talk to the media when you use creators to push your fucking narrative.
Now, I don't think Seth did that. Do you think that, Kiki?
No, I don't think. I think Seth was just reaching out to anybody and everybody to help. You know?
Right, right. But I don't think, I mean, he would go on panels
Yeah.
himself, but Katie and Chris stayed very quiet for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he was just reaching out for help for
Yeah.
anybody that, would come and help.
Yes, I agree. Okay, let's listen some more.
And creators who are acting like Katie is some victim in all of this. She's the one who pushes some of this shit. But no one wants to talk about that. No one wants to talk about that, do they? Call me a liar. I dare you. Same way with Chris. Guaranteed. Same way with Seth. Guaranteed. If you got something to say about your son, do it your fucking self. Quit hiding. People should not want your child home more than you want your child home.
Amen to that. 100%. That's the way it should be. Now, I do think Seth has done a whole lot more than Katie and Chris ever even considered doing.
That's not the way it's supposed to be. Now, you can unfollow me. You can talk shit about me. You can do whatever you want to. I stand 10 toes down on what I just said. You can get mad. You can get glad. I don't really give a shit, to be honest with you. I'm tired of people using this young man as though he's not a real life, as though he's not a real soul, as though he doesn't matter. He does. Have any of y'all seen the video of Seth at work from 6 to 7 a.m.?
No, nobody has seen the video. Law enforcement saw it. Law enforcement has talked and confirmed, they say, but nobody has seen it other than them.
Any of y'all seen that video? Have any of y'all seen the video of Chris at his campground Sunday night?
Nope. The only person that spoke out for him was someone who actually came out and lied when he said, "I'm his boss." But that wasn't his boss. That was just another worker. that Chris had him call and pretend to be his boss.
But we're just sitting here believing that they exist, right? Because law enforcement hasn't made an arrest, right? Is that the only reason we're believing it? When the emails came out about Seth, Katie, and Chris discussing putting Sebastian into a home, obviously we all remember that, right? Put a rooster in the chat just to make sure that we all remember that. Okay. Now let's talk about this email for a second. They all three had made the decision, allegedly, according to Katie. That's where it came from. Okay. Allegedly, they had all three come to the conclusion that they were going to try to find him a home. And then allegedly, it was too expensive. So then it was, okay, you're going to go to Seth's. So if all three of them were okay with putting him in a facility, why would it make any sense for one of them individually to kidnap him and go hide him in a facility?
That's a very legit question. You know, there's been a lot of talk about him being put in a facility somewhere. Seth did agree. Seth actually said, okay, if you're putting him in a home, you're not going to put my son in the home that you want to put him in, because he looked into that home and there had been several kids that passed away. So Seth contacted someone to give a couple of different schools that had good accreditation and would actually help Sebastian. And he emailed those to Katie. And that's the email she gave them on the other side. The email said, here are some good schools. We need to look into these. He's the one that had to come out and say, this is why that email was sent. It's because Katie and Chris decided to put him in a home, but the home they chose had children that are no longer alive. Very mysterious. And so Seth had looked into it, got some good accredited schools that would help Sebastian, because he was believing Katie and Chris that Sebastian was needing that extra help. And yes, whoever, where was it? Let me get back up here. Hold on. Yes, Bugsy said that was before Seth knew about the abuse. 100%. He was taking Katie and Chris, their word that Sebastian needed this. Seth would do whatever is needed for his child.
Hey, Lolly, can I
Yeah.
voice my opinion on something real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Not to interrupt or anything.
No, you're fine.
I
was
don't know
just
when to unmute.
trying to explain the situation and how all that came about.
What irritates me most about the whole situation, and I'm not in, Katie's, Chris's shoes, but because I've never had an autistic child, okay?
Right.
But what irritates me the most is from the beginning, you have one child to take care of. How hard is one child to take care of? autistic or whatever. That is your blood.
Yeah.
God gave that boy to you to take care of. So why not do it, in my opinion?
100%. 100%. But things were out of control. We know there was abuse that was happening. There were CPS reports because we know Seth had to get a lawyer to get a copy of those reports. He didn't know about all that. And so, had he known about all that at that time, I don't think he would agree to put him in a home. He would have took him to his home. I mean, I'm just assuming that, but the issue with that email was Katie gave it to Clue and Crabtree. Stephen Crabtree himself said, me and Clue sat on the couch with Katie and Chris and got the email from Seth showing that he was looking in to putting Sebastian in a home and he wanted their approval. That wasn't how it worked. And Seth cleared that up, saying, no, no, no. Katie and Chris was going to put him in Bledsoe, which is right there, close to them. And it has a bad reputation of children no longer being alive. And so he had someone help him find some good schools that would help. But Katie didn't tell the whole story. There's another false narrative that got pushed out there. Look, Seth was going to put his kid in the home anyways. That's all he was going to do. It's more of that false narrative, that BS that continues to be pushed out there. Barbara, welcome to the membership. Thank you so much for becoming a member. We are so excited to have you, and welcome to the South.
Welcome to the South. We break that good stuff out. We got enough to go around. So can I get a baby? Welcome to the South.
Oh, it started playing again. Welcome, Barbara. We're so excited to have you with us, and you will get to participate in our members live we have pretty soon coming up. Thank you so much for becoming part of our family. Anything else, Kiki, that you want to say on this?
Well, another thing, if they chose a good school and it supposedly was too expensive, in my experience, not in that type of school, but if you do private schools, what have you, there's ways to work things out amongst the schools where most of them in Tennessee will, help. I mean, you could get a small job, part-time job there to help out, different things.
Right.
And with him having disabilities, wouldn't the state have to help in that also? Is that what the holdup and everything was on the
Yes.
homeschool thing?
Yeah. He was going to have him homeschooled until there was an opening at the school, which I don't understand. Most schools, they can go over their amount, but I guess not there. I didn't understand all that exactly, but homeschool if needed during the summertime to get him caught up to where he needed to be to start the school year in the classrooms is kind of what I got from all that.
Yeah, I'm thinking they may have had to use a certain school with his disability
Very
or what
possible.
have you, because that would be probably the only holdup because homeschool is pretty simple to get started, even just going through like a simple umbrella or whatever. If it was regular homeschool, it wouldn't have took no time at all. But for there to be a waiting list, I would
Right.
think that it would be something that had to go through the state with his, I guess whatever social workers through the school or what have you.
Right. Calgal says, I still believe the custody fight over Faith has something to do with Sebastian missing, in my opinion. Calgal, it is my opinion, 100%. I agree with you. 100%. And I think there's a lot more to this. Bugsy asked, why does CPS keep those abuse reports from Seth? This is what we've heard. Can't say it is for sure true. But it was said by someone who conversated with Seth that CPS was told his father was not in his life. But yeah, Calgal says, I've been wondering if they did put him in a group home, what happens when Sebastian turns 18? Well, Katie and Chris themselves both have said he may come home when he's 18. Mr. Chris told the Hatfields and McCoy there's pretty much two options at this point. He's either lying in the woods dead somewhere, or he'll come home when he's 18 but needs mental help. And so that's just scary in itself, because some of these homes are not good places.
See, Lily, I saw a comment also. It says, I think it was Michelle there. She said something to the effect of they would have got more financial help if he had been with Seth.
Yes,
So that makes sense. Why
it
not go ahead and
does.
give, Seth custody or guardians, whatever? You can even in the state of Tennessee just give educational guardianship only to a parent, a grandparent, or what have you. You can give that. I mean, it's
Mhm.
simple. It's like a couple of weeks, and you'd have educational guardianship, and Seth could have done what he needed to do.
Right. Deanna, so my opinion is he has gotten rid of due to Sebastian speaking out, and it was a matter of time before Seth found out. Exactly. He started speaking out and telling his teachers. I honestly believe he was threatened not to tell his dad, because it was Seth's mother that made a Facebook post stating that Sebastian begged her not to tell his father what was happening, because he did not want his dad to lose his job and end up in jail. That's not something that young man's just going to assume. That's something that was probably put into his head, in my opinion, of course. In my opinion. And let's see, Wild Wolf. Let me find your comment here. She says, Lolly and Sebastian and Mods and friends making meatloaf. Oh, I thought you were saying something about Sebastian. Well, hello to you, Wild Wolf. Thanks for being here. So, yeah, I think that was a big mess. And he talks about putting out your narratives. That's exactly what Katie and Chris did with that email. They put it out there to make Seth look as if he was the one wanting to put Sebastian in a home, but it was turned out and turned around back onto them, because they're the ones that was going to put him in Bledsoe. And you can go to the website for that home there. It is not good. People don't have good things to say about that place.
No, Lolly, was there guardianship? Was it 50-50? Is that what it was? I
Yeah,
mean,
they had joint custody. Yeah.
okay. So Seth could have made decisions as far as education goes, but
Yes.
it would have to be verified through all three of them, or at least Katie and him, right?
Pretty much. I mean, Katie made a lot of decisions because he lived with her. She used to, from what I understand, kept Seth in the loop, and this is the bad part. A lot of this is assumptions. A lot of this is assumptions. Crabtree's the one that tells us him and Clue sat on the couch with Katie and Chris, and they gave them the email from Seth to show he was putting Sebastian in a home. Seth's the one that came out, and I believe it was on Pascal, and said that's not how it was. I wanted to make sure if they thought he had to be put somewhere, that it needed to be somewhere that was going to help him, and the school they had chose was not a good school. So I looked into better, but they could none of them afford it.
So one
So
thing I'm wondering about, did I interrupt you? I'm sorry,
no,
I
no,
couldn't
no,
hear
go
you.
ahead.
One thing I wonder about, because Seth was listening to Katie and Chris, at the beginning it was
Mhm.
obvious, and he trusted, and I mean, you would hope that you could, the other parents. Did they just straight up tell him, hey, he can't get in homeschool till this time? Or did Seth actually verify that?
What, in the school where Seth lives?
Yeah, like the homeschool. Like, did he
School,
actually go there?
he was he was enrolled for school starting August of 2024. They were wanting him to go right then, which was first part of February or December. It was in December when that talk started. So then they decided, oh, we're going to put him in a school. Well, then they couldn't afford it, and Sebastian was doing better, they said. So they were going to hold off, let him finish school, and then go to his dad's. That was supposed to be the plan, according to what Seth has told us.
Okay, because, that's just weird that Chris and Katie would want him to leave right in the middle of the year. I mean, the year's almost done. You
Right.
got what, two and a half months usually?
Yeah. I believe the way Tony and Seth explained it, there was a CPS. Now that they have that CPS report, Seth has that. There's a timeline there, and Tony said there was a CPS report done in November. It was December when they were talking about putting him in a home. Then Seth says, hold up, let me look into a better home. He sends that email. And then they decided, okay, well, he's doing better. So we're just going to wait. And then he can go at the end of school and move in with Seth. Well, then the January 26th, whatever happened that day where CPS had to show up, that just was over the edge. And then I believe he comes up missing. And I sadly am not sure that they want him to even come back home when he's 18, because he'll still be able to tell people what actually happened in that home. But I don't know. But, Elevated Truth did have a point. If they couldn't afford it, all three of them together, How would one of them be able to put him in a facility? You see what I'm saying? I mean, he had a point. I give him credit on this because he's calling all three out. He even called out those over there doing all the bad stuff. That's it, Hope Floats. Was it Mommy Socks? Yes, Deanna. Seth said he had to get a lawyer and he received all of Sebastian's files, all CPS reports, all 5 of them, plus his counselor, the therapist he was seeing took notes, and he has all of his therapist notes as well. He said if you were to read it, read the whole file. He said it would keep you up at night. Those were Seth's words. I'll go back and we'll get that and we'll listen to that if y'all want to. We'll
And
do that
see,
one.
that much, in my opinion, if the CPS reports are, horrible, you know what I'm saying? That should be enough, I would think, for somebody who ever done anything to him
Mm-hmm.
to be able to
Well,
um,
if you put this little tiny puzzle together, you have Chris that has fought for custody for 7 years of his daughter. You have Sebastian being abused and growing a little older and getting tired of it and starting to speak out at school. And CPS is being called because the school is starting to see these things. So here's pieces of the puzzle starting to connect together, because if that CPS stuff was made public or talked about in a court, like Hope Float says, now you know CP could not get in trouble for CPS. It would ruin the case for Faith. That is so obvious, right in front of our eyes. How is it law enforcement isn't doing anything about that? Bobby, I love you so big, Bobby. You take care of yourself, sweetie. We love you. Thank you for
yeah,
listening.
yeah. I mean that if they're horrible like that, then that's enough.
Enough,
That's
you would think. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's
I
crazy.
it's it's aggravating to know these things that his father has told us. And just weeks later, after the last CPS case, Sebastian mysteriously disappears before the CPS court case. There's motive.
Hey, Lolly, I've got a grocery order. I gotta hop
Okay.
down,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
if I can come back up, I will. Love you guys, and I'll
Love
be
you.
in the chat listening. Okay.
All righty. Thank
Thank you for
you.
having me.
Oh,
Bye.
yeah. Bye. So, like I said, guys, motive there. And it's aggravating and it's frustrating because, good golly, we can all see it. And if what Seth is saying is 100% true about those reports, why are they not doing anything about that? What is it that they would have to go forward? Bobby, you got a lot of love in here, girl. You take care of yourself, okay? And I'm here if you ever need anything. Hypothetical, what if Sebastian got caught on the computer at the poker party? Um, I'm gonna say this. I'm not quite sure that Katie and Sebastian went inside that house. I'm not sure about that. It was insinuated as a possibility. But I'm not sure they went inside that house. Let's see. Hope Float said, would not be enough for them to want him gone, in my opinion. I seriously think if Sebastian told about his abuse in a court of law, Mr. Chris would never get Faith, and his mommy would be upset. Amy Lynn, from what I understand, there was a court hearing on those charges, but Sebastian went missing before it could happen. So, all righty, guys, let's listen to some more, okay? And like I say, trigger warning, because language is a little rough.
They all three had agreed to send him to one. No one needed to go grab him, hide him, and put him somewhere. Allegedly, the issue was the money, the cost of it. So if three of them can't afford it, how the fuck is one of them going to secretly afford it? But no one wants to talk about that because that doesn't go along with the agenda. That makes no fucking sense. But nobody wants to talk about the goddamn trash truck, huh? Oh, what trash truck are you talking about, Truth? I don't know, the one you saw in the neighborhood that day?
You know, why does he bring up the trash truck? The trash truck that was seen in that neighborhood that day. To me, that's a very strange thing for him to bring up. And we know the trash picked up before law enforcement got there. We know they went and did a search at the landfill. It had happened long before this live that he did. So what is it about that trash truck? I just got questions. What is he talking about here? What does...
I guess they just accidentally went to the dump.
What does he know? That's my question. What does he know? What was in that dump? What was in that trash? He's insinuating as if he knows the answer to this.
I guess they just, cautiously went. They didn't have a reason. I'm sure they were just pulling that out of the air. Why would Officer Craddock, Deputy Sheriff Craddock, say that the trash truck video had no evidentiary value, but then when asked, could it, he said, we don't know what we don't know, which means it absolutely has evidentiary value.
So we know the trash truck video is not a trash truck. And it's very obvious to anyone who has a mindset that can actually think. You would understand trash truck lights go simultaneously with that trash truck. A trash truck does not have two of its lights go in separate directions. That is insane to continue to talk about it as the trash truck video. But that's what he's doing. So is he talking about something in that trash truck that was picked up at that house? Is he talking about those two flashlights that was obviously in that courtyard area and went to a waiting car? What does he know? I hate green screens, by the way. They make people disappear and their body gets all disfigured.
Y'all are worried about cars, lights, pretend flashlights. Look over.
Look over there. Why is he saying we're worried about the car and the lights? But he's talking about a trash truck, guys. I'm telling you, there's people on the other side. They know things. I would bet money on it.
Over here, not over there. Y'all got to be smarter than this, guys. And I'm not saying that that's what happened. I'm not saying that that's the answer. I'm just saying, why is nobody looking into the obvious? The obvious. Y'all want to have these conspiracies of Jimmy Joe, Huckleberry Finn came in and, aliens came in with flashlights and escaped in no vehicles and the fuck? I'm not holding my tongue very much longer. I'm going to put it that way.
So, is it just me? I want y'all's opinion 100%. Does he know things? Do you guys believe that this man has been told something? Because the way he's laying it out here, talking about a trash truck, crossing his arms, leaning back, talking about the lights, the pretend lights and car. Look over here, not there. And now he's going to say, I'm not going to hold my tongue much longer. I wonder exactly what it is this man might actually know. Can y'all hear me? The chat has froze. Here it goes. Almost like a threat. Yeah, to KP and CP. Yes. Oh, yeah. That's fixing to come up. Yeah, when is much longer? Because it never happened. Probably because Mr. Chris had a talk with him behind the scenes, and we all know how those talks end up. Yeah, this is the video where all that don't make me pull the man card. Yeah, this is that video. That part's been played over and over and over. This part right here, in my opinion, makes me believe there are creators over there that know things. He admitted that Katie and Chris are having people put out a narrative. Well, we've known that all along. He confirmed it at the beginning. But him saying, I'm not holding my tongue much longer, makes me 100% believe they know things. I really do believe it, guys.
See, there's the one thing in my life since I got sober that I take pride in. Right? That I take pride in. And that's that being true to yourself is very important.
I encourage.
Right? Being true to yourself is very, very important.
I encourage him to be true to himself. Say what you know. Do it for Sebastian.
And some of y'all motherfuckers, some of y'all have been doing some shit. And see, this is probably what's going to happen. Because I've said what I just said, some people are going to get nervous. I'm going to get doxxed. I predict it. I predict it.
Because that's how that side works. It's how they do.
There are some creators out here. There are some creators out here who are working really hard. And very soon, I'm going to be able to tell you who those creators are. Y'all want to sue people that are trying to help find a young man while calling out bullshit? And you got people that support that? That's interesting.
Yet he sits with those people that support that does just that. And he goes on to become just that, sadly.
That's real interesting. Y'all think it's fun and funny to put mothers in a position where they have to fight for themselves because you want to be a fucking bully?
And yet he goes on to attack said creator who's a mother, and he becomes the bully.
It's crazy to me. Listen, I may or may not even like Granny. Doesn't matter. What does matter is she doesn't deserve to be being sued. Nope. Nope. I find it interesting that you can get restraining orders against a woman who, by obvious means, most people don't like. I get it. But it's interesting to me that you can get a restraining order against Bullhorn Betty, but you won't get a restraining order against Dog the Bounty Hunter when he encouraged people to come kick in your front fucking door.
Boom. Fact. He called it out, didn't he? You're going to put a restraining order, Katie and Chris, against Bullhorn Betty. But the man that said he's going to come kick in your front door, nah, just ignore him. It's crazy.
Why is that? I don't understand that. Why? Why haven't you filed any paperwork against Nick? He's out here suing people that are trying to find your son, calling you a murderer, calling you a this, a that. Where's the legal action against him? That's fucking weird.
Very, very weird. But yet it continued to happen.
That's fucking weird. I'm not here to be a lawyer. I'm just saying it seems real weird that we're picking and choosing. It's the same way the green team is picking and choosing what creators to go after. So is the other side. There's no difference. And I'm not taking one side to the other. This isn't a dislike towards Chris. I don't dislike Chris. I actually think Chris is a decent dude. I have
I would debate on that one.
nothing against Chris. But facts are facts. If Seth is so concerned about morals and how a family is supposed to be, and his nuclear family, why is he okay with all the unmoral shit being done in the name of his son?
Boom.
You got a team named after a missing young man, but that team is actively going after the person who gave birth to that young man.
Because she was the last one with that young man. She was the only person left in that home, locked in that home. And yet, there's no evidence he even made it back home and was in her car when she drove in. No one has seen her search except for one time when a PI is going to fly a drone and take a picture of them standing by some woods. And we're supposed to believe she's out searching.
How is it that all the way up until right before Sebastian went missing, Chris, Katie, and Seth were co-parenting? And if you think for a second that Chris and Seth were the only ones texting, you're fucking crazy. Because Katie and Seth had a texting relationship too. If I'm lying, sue me. You won't. So why is this picture being painted that Katie is so scared of Seth?
I don't know that Katie's so scared of Seth. I don't believe Katie was ever scared of Seth. I do believe Katie did not talk to Seth for a particular reason. I believe her husband did not want her talking to Seth. Just like law enforcement, they needed to go through him. He was protecting what I believe is a narrative to make sure he can keep her story on track, because that's what he's done in every single interview that they have done together. But that's just my opinion.
Why? How? How is that possible to be painted? You want me to believe, and I'm about to say something that's triggering. Will my moderators please give a trigger warning? This is a trigger warning to anybody who has had to endure any type of unjust, inappropriate type stuff to them. I don't know the right word to use, but if I could get a quick trigger warning.
Funny, when all the language started out, there was no trigger warning, but now we got a trigger warning. And guys, be prepared.
Thank you, Clue. And I'm going to give another opportunity for anybody who wants to mute for a second. I'll put my hand up whenever I'm done talking if you want to mute for a second. I really want to be respectful about what I'm about to say. Okay. When I put my hand up, if you've muted your screen, then you'll know that I'm done talking. Okay. You want me to believe, as someone who was molested as a child, you want me to believe that you're going to sit out here and talk about the things that Seth did to you and that, all of these horrible things, but yet y'all co-parent, you send your son to their house or to his house, you give permission for him to go live there and go to school there. But a simple GoFundMe broke y'all.
Boom. Boom. Could not have said it better myself. Katie tried to get charges against Seth. I've got the papers, had them for a while. The things that she was saying to try to get a restraining order put on Seth. A judge threw that out because there was no evidence of it, just her saying it happened. Turned around and gave Seth joint custody. If any of those things could have been proven to be true, other than just Katie saying it, a judge would have never, ever given Seth joint custody of his child. But that's what it exactly happened. Then, as all this has come out, all of Sebastian's case gets started. Everybody starts looking into stuff. All the false narratives continue to be put out there. And what happens? The dark side, as they are called, starts throwing the narrative out that Seth is a pedophile. He slept with Katie before she was 18. Seth says no. She had a boyfriend and she was seeing a married man. Him and her were not together until after she was 18. But they push it to this day that Seth was such a pedo, and Katie allows it. The man she was pushing her child off to go live with him, Mr. Pedophile over there, just take our son, but knowing that you're a pedophile. No, you are, but go ahead and take him anyways. How does that make sense? It doesn't. Because it wasn't true. But if they didn't put that out there, Seth wouldn't be looking so bad, right? So they got to do as much as possible and push a narrative to make Seth look bad. And it started with the GoFundMe page. What happened between Katie, Chris, and Seth? What broke that three of them working so closely together to raise Sebastian? A GoFundMe's not going to do that. What changed? Hey, Sandy. And hello to everybody that's come in. Thank you all for being here. But he has a point here, guys. 100%. You're going to let Seth take Sebastian and raise him. But you're going to be over here in these people's ear telling them he's a pedophile. And yet, a GoFundMe is going to stop you from having anything to do with him? What happened there? What happened between that 3 parenting unit that they had going? Something happened. Something changed. Because everything we've heard on both sides, they worked well together as a unit to raise Sebastian. Yeah, Jackie T says it is not unusual for a family to do a GoFundMe. Exactly. Yeah, and the GoFundMe would increase social media awareness of Sebastian being missing. The plan changed. Exactly, Michelle. Exactly. And if you recall, Seth said in the very first day when he's riding around with Mr. Chris, and he said, go along with the plan. Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember Seth saying that? That was at the time he told him, what if all of this goes south? What if he's unalive? I don't think Seth wanted to play the game. I think Seth allowed it to happen for a while and realized something's not right here. I'm not playing your game. I'm not going along with your plan. Bobby, look at you, girl. Oh, I love you, Bobby. That is so sweet. If you guys were gifted a membership, please tell our beautiful and sweet Bobby thank you so much, because it was so gracious of her. And for our new members, welcome to the South.
Welcome, welcome to the South. We break that good stuff down. We got enough to go around. So can I get a amen? Get down. Welcome to the South.
Thank you so much, Bobby. And welcome to the family, our newest members. So you have to stop, guys, and you have to think with all that you know with this case and both sides. What changed? What happened? Did Katie and Chris assume Seth would go along with their narrative and their plan? I've questioned this in the past. Was there a plan in place? Was Mr. Chris going to lead the narrative here? Lay it out for everybody to hear? And Seth realized something ain't right here. I ain't playing your game. I don't know. I don't know. But it is my opinion. I believe that is very, very possible. Yep. CP is controlling the narrative. The negative. Well, it's negative, that all right. But yes, he is trying to control the whole narrative. Therefore, he will not let his wife speak because her stories can't stay consistent. It's as obvious as it is just seeing it right in front of you and being told. CP wants control like a mob boss. Yeah, like mommy, like son. Yeah. I mean, I got questions. It's crazy. And once again, kudos to Elevated Truth, because he was, I believe, right on point. I don't think it was a GoFundMe that busted up that 3 unit. That parenting unit they had going and working so well. I do not believe it was a GoFundMe that his sister set up to help. I don't believe that's what sent them over the edge. Let's listen some more.
Not the alleged abuse that you claim occurred before you were 18 years old, which conveniently only came out after Seth made a statement about things that happened before Sebastian was born. It was never brought to the table before then. You're telling me you look past that. You allowed your son to have a relationship with the person who abused you, allegedly, according to you.
Katie.
I'll stand on the 2 feet saying, you, Katie, said he did it. You did. Call me a liar and I'll prove it.
Guys, he knows things. Katie never has spoken out on social media telling everybody out here in YouTube land that Seth essayed her before she was of age. YouTube creators did that over there on the far side of the street.
You want me to believe that a GoFundMe was more hurtful, harmful than any of the accusations that were made? You want me to believe that you can't get past some money in order to work to find your child? I'm not saying your accusations did or didn't happen. I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't live your life, and I don't know your story like that. And if it did, in fact, occur to you from the bottom of my soul, from one victim to another victim of that horrendous type activity, I am sorry you had to go through that. But if you were woman enough and human enough and mother enough to put that shit aside and not ever worry that he was going to do that to your child, right? You're telling me you can't put it all aside over some money?
It always seems to go back to money, doesn't it? I know everybody's heard the old saying, money is the root to all evil. And it proves to be true over and over, especially in this case here.
No. That don't work for me. That don't work for me. Guys, y'all can keep telling me I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm not. I'm not. I promise you I'm not. After this live, I assure you there are going to be people that are very angry at me. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Because the fuck shit has to stop. Crimson, it didn't happen in public. It happened on a phone call. I'm telling y'all, I have no reason to fucking lie to y'all. The fuck do I gain from it? All people have been doing is lying to y'all. They've been lying to y'all. Both sides have been lying to y'all. Both fucking sides. Guys, if y'all think that I'm sitting here talking out of my ass, tell them to prove me wrong.
Time for Mr. Chris to cough. Get back on the narrative.
Tell them to come out and prove me wrong. Why is it that everything with Chris, Katie, and Seth always has to do about something sexual? Why?
Boom. Hello. Never in my lifetime heard so much of that in a reference to a missing child's case. You can't help but wonder, was some of that going on in that home and part of that abuse? I don't want to think that. I don't want to assume that. But yes, I have questioned it because of so much of that reference on that side, the narrative being pushed about Seth over here. We've heard about Katie's life when she was young. It was there. We heard from his stepbrother about what Chris did. It was there. You have to question it. What the heck? If that had nothing to do with Sebastian, why is it even being talked about with the adults?
Why does everything revert back to sex or sexual indecency? Conversations, comments. It's not just Seth. It's not just Seth. Once again, if I'm lying, sue me. I bet you won't. That includes Chris, Katie, and Seth. Now, I've never met Seth. I've never had a conversation with Seth. But the reports are out there. The testimony's out there.
This is where I differ with him because, yeah, those reports are out there. Katie's testimony that she's saying these things happen. But a judge did not find any basis that they were accurate. Were they accurate? We'll never know. Seth says no. Katie says yes. But then again, Katie's divorcing Seth, already seeing Chris, and that pattern's already established. Lots of questions. Lots of questions just hanging in the air that we will probably never, ever know those answers.
Why have y'all hidden the big secret this whole time, Chris, Katie, and Seth? I think that people need to start getting real with themselves. I do. If y'all care about this young man, why aren't y'all out here talking? You don't mind using creators to talk for you. Why aren't you talking for yourself? You got these creators out here spending day in and day out trying to help find your son. You're allowing people to be drugged through court on behalf of looking for your son, but you don't want to come out and be honest with the people? You don't have to believe a word I'm saying. That's fine. It doesn't do me good or bad one way or the other, whether you believe what I'm saying. It doesn't. But I had to get that off my chest. I hope y'all know that I'm extremely uncomfortable with the conversation I'm having right now. I hope that it's obvious that this is not enjoyable for me to do. This conversation probably is not enjoyable for any of y'all as well. I told you I was only going to be able to hold my mouth for so long.
Okay.
Okay. This is where Clue comes up, and she says she has a difference of opinion on a few things. Then Queen comes up. It goes into Seth this, Seth that, blah, 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 blah. And it just takes their whole narrative from here. So we are going to stop here. Go to Lady Freedoms if you would like to watch the rest of it. I don't know why at that time Elevated Truth decided to take that and put it all out there. I don't understand what that intentions was behind it, but it does tell us there are creators there on the other side that have been told things. Just like the trash truck video. Guys, that was put out in 2024. It was talked about. It was gone over. Chris pushed hard that it was a trash truck and it had been debunked. But yet it hadn't been debunked at that point. Craddock tells us it has no evidentiary value, but yet he can't tell us what it is. If it was just a trash truck, it would be easy for them to tell us what it was. Wouldn't you think? Thank goodness for Mom Crew once again for sitting there, taking the time, going over everything, showing where the camera is, the angle of the camera, and what every little detail behind the darkness. Like I said earlier, it doesn't take much to realize that was not a trash truck. Trash truck lights move in sync with the trash truck because they're attached to the truck. They don't have legs to walk separate ways. They don't fall off the trash truck and continue to stay lit and roll away. So the trash truck theory has been 100% debunked. Mr. Chris even said the trash truck was up on a hill in the other neighborhood. Rich and Ruby did a test while there were people there from the area Mr. Chris tells us, and there's no way the lights would penetrate through brick homes in all the trees to make two lights go two separate directions. Impossible. The magical trash truck. Yeah, we should do a series called The Magical Trash Truck, right? So what does he know about that trash truck? What is it about that trash truck? And they just randomly went and searched the landfill. What were they worried about with that landfill? What does he know? What has he been told? Seems that he's talked to Katie and to Chris. But yet he hadn't talked to Seth. But Katie and Chris seems to have talked to every creator on the other side. Every creator has talked to them. I have questions I want to ask to clear some stuff up and to understand some of the narratives and things. And he will not take the link and come up when it is delivered straight to him. Maybe it's manufactured by the same people that made the Magic School Bus. Da, da, da. Oh, September. I tell you, that broke my heart when I was watching it and making it. And that video of Sebastian at Texas Roadhouse just hurt my heart. No, none of them were. Well, no, I don't want to say that. There were a couple of them that did true crime a little bit. They dabbled in it a little. But there's a whole lot of them that came from TikTok over here. And that's when all hell busted loose. Yeah, Cecilia, me too. Me too. It broke my heart. So I do have questions. What is it that they know? What is it that those people have been told? I don't understand it. I just don't get it. We just want some answers over here to clear up some questions that we have to help us to understand a little better. But we're on the wrong side. Yet we're on Sebastian's side. Isn't that the correct side to be on? I don't know. I don't understand it a lot. I don't get it. It's frustrating. Hey, will you let the dogs out? Thank you. Outside, Ollie. Tex, go. Sorry, my granddaughter came up here. Hey, just, Ollie needs to go out. Anyways, I believe he goes on at my time at 7, Brenda. Another thing I was wanting to go over pertaining to this video is the continuous sexual innuendos that continue to be pushed as a narrative. They push it towards Seth. What is the purpose? Yes, we found out about Katie's mother and her sister. Yes, it was not good. It's never okay for an adult to mess with a child in that way. Never. Unacceptable. But with as much as what is being put out over there to make him look bad over here, oh, exactly, Hope Floats. You can't help but think the one that barks the loudest is the guilty one. Yes, September Rain and her stepfather. Her stepfather divorced her mom and married his daughter after killing the daughter's husband. Make that one make sense. But yeah, you can't help but wonder, what is it? Why is it okay and acceptable? We sit here and yes, we continue to ask Katie what happened to her son because she was the last one with him. She put herself there, the last one with Sebastian, locked up in her home. 3 hours before she reports him missing, we see lights moving in the courtyard behind their house. We see a car with headlights and taillights come on. Those two lights go towards that car. We see one of those lights run back to the back of their home. And yet Katie's the only one 3 hours later locked inside her home alone. And we're not supposed to question her? Give me a break. Law enforcement should have been pushing that narrative with her. Law enforcement should have. They should have done their job and treated her as the suspect that she is. That's a little too much. That's a little too obvious. Then now let's add in the fact of all those CPS reports against Sebastian. You did notice he didn't talk about those. He did not talk about those. But if there was a court case coming up for CPS, for the Department of Children's Services, and Sebastian goes missing a couple of weeks prior. He can't say what happened in that home. He can't testify because he's nowhere to be found. Jackie, yeah, probably so, you know. I mean, you got to question some of this, and sad to say, but Seth is in that category of you got to be fair and look at it. Yes, there was an RSO trying to go against him. Do we know if it was true? No, we don't. He says it wasn't true. She says it was. None of us know the truth. You either believe him or you believe her. 3 parents, none of them are cleared. Why? You got to question that. It's not to be mean to Seth. It's not to be mean towards Katie and Chris. It's to be fair to Sebastian. You see what I'm saying? People get mad when I say that because everybody's so protective of Seth. I get it. But that's a fact. It's a fact that we're shy of 1 month. What, 1 month and 4 days? Being 2 years. We're 1 month and 4 days shy of it being 2 years since he went missing, just vanished, poof, gone. And yet, none of the parents have been cleared. There's supposedly a video showing Seth was at work all night. That should be enough of an alibi. Did he go in his truck and sit down and take a 2-hour nap? If so, there were cameras enough to show his truck never left, right? I just don't understand. So I ask the question, why haven't they? And it's not to make Seth look bad. It's to be fair to Sebastian's case, because if you clear the parent that has a very obvious and clear alibi, allegedly, because none of us has seen the video. So if they do have that, clear him. Then your focus can go to the other two. If you can't clear them after 2 years, you're pretty much not going to be able to clear them. So does that just prove to us law enforcement is not doing their job? There's theories and speculations about, well, if they clear him, then the obvious focus is over here on Katie and Chris. Well, pretty much it's there. Katie's the number one suspect. It's obvious. It's so obvious. She put herself in that home alone with that young man, and there's no digital evidence to show he ever left his house. Law enforcement says there's no digital evidence showing anyone coming or going from the front of their home. And yet we have lights moving around in the back of their house 3 hours before he is reported missing. Guys, we can see it plain as day. Sometimes I have to make myself get emotionally unattached for a minute to think and look at things in a way that's different, so I can question things and clarify my mind. This is how it really is over here. Because when we get so emotionally involved, you get set one way and you can't think any different. But you have no proof to back up your way of thinking. And that's what I've had to do. And a lot of people got mad and left Because I said we have to question, why does Seth has not been cleared yet? I'm trying to figure out, why has he not been cleared? Because that doesn't line up with a person who actually might really have a legit alibi. But we have to remember, friends, that we weren't there. We don't know. We don't know what law enforcement has or possibly doesn't have. They've not told us what they have and what they don't have. So we can just sit here and continue to assume. But when you start putting those pieces together, when you start looking at the whole picture detached from your emotional side and your heartstrings that are being pulled by that sweet baby boy's face and his beautiful smile, you start legit being able to piece those little pieces together to where it's very, very clear. So that leads me to that one question that we all have. How emotionally attached is law enforcement? How buddy are they that they can't step back and see what's right in front of our eyes? If you have 5 CPS reports, all due to abuse against Sebastian, and Seth told us in his own words, it was not only against Mr. Chris. So that means Katie and Chris, I assume, are the two in that home that had reports filed against them abusing Sebastian. In some form or another, we don't know. If Seth has the therapist notes, and if Seth and Tony can sit there and say they've both read all of this, and it will keep you up at night, it's so bad. Then it's almost obvious Sebastian had to go a long time before he went to his father's, because Mr. Chris, in my opinion, wanted custody of his daughter a hell of a lot more than he wanted to keep Sebastian in his home. But he couldn't just put him anywhere. This is my thought process. He couldn't put him anywhere where he was going to come home when he's 18. Why? Because he can still speak out. And we've already showed that it's Tennessee law that if an event happened when a child is underage, no matter when that child speaks out, that person can still be charged. It won't be just a misdemeanor for all the abuse Sebastian suffered. But Mr. Chris has pushed that narrative. If he came home, it would only be a misdemeanor charge if somebody knew. And that's what scares me. He can't take that chance because his daughter will not be 18 and be able to make her choice to go live with him, should she want that. He will still be fighting custody of his daughter when Sebastian turns 18. He cannot allow that to happen, for that to come out. And that's my opinion. And to me, that is motive for that young man to go missing. But that's just my thought. Everybody continues to ask me, what are your thoughts? That's my thought. I think the mention of the poker party was just a distraction to put that theory out there. Something went bad at the poker party. Just like the email was put out there to make Seth look bad. Everything they're telling us is a lie. Everything. I showed it yesterday. Chris tells us the dog got a scent, went down the back fence, back up, and went diagonal to the neighbor's house behind their backyard. That's exactly where the ruckus video was happening. But folks, think about it. He didn't say that dog got Sebastian's scent. Dogs can get a scent that has a pattern and a trail to it. But they alert when they get Sebastian's scent. When they have something of Sebastian's, they smell it. Their person, their handler, gives them the order to find that scent. That's what those dogs are trained to do. And who ran out from behind their house down along that fence line there? Went across, met up, went to a car waiting on the side of the road and ran back up that fence line area to go back in the back of that house that night. Who was that? Is that the scent the dog picked up? Is that the same person that was over where the ruckus video was happening? That's it, September Rain. They just want everyone to keep searching in all the wrong directions. Look at SF. He puts out a video. Well, this has got to be Sebastian. My gosh. It's the 1-year anniversary time. Let's cause a ruckus. Is it possible this was Sebastian? Law enforcement debunked that 48 hours after Sebastian went missing. And I've been told that video was actually taken the day after or the night after Sebastian went missing. But SF would know that. Didn't matter. Let's put that out there. So all this talk of this canine searches and decomp and all those things, friends, remember, that's just what's written on a piece of paper. We've seen no test results. They won't show receipts. They're just going to tell you we did this, this, and this is what we got. Just like Katie and all her multiple versions of what happened that night after getting home from Texas Roadhouse. This, and this. But where's your receipts, Katie? Because you can't go to sleep at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and again at 12 o'clock while you're studying, while you're talking on the phone for 3 hours. It doesn't make sense. Guys, like I've said 100 times before, over and over again, I've got my opinion. I voice my opinion. I tell you what I see. I tell you what I believe. I am 100% legit, straight up with you. Does that mean I am 100% legit correct? No. I wasn't there. I don't know. We're all allowed to have our opinions. And anyone that comes over here and listens to us, looks at people in chat and their opinions, they have the right to voice their opinion. We are fortunate enough to have that right. Doesn't make us hateful people. It makes us people that have an open mind and can look at all the things and see what's right before our eyes. Can you hear these dogs in the background wrestling? If you can, I'm sorry. They're sitting there rolling around wrestling. Lord, these two. They get together and they play like they're little tiny puppies, but they're big old dogs. Yes, Pink Warrior, we need justice for Sebastian. He deserves it. His story should be told. Bud's girl says same shoes as his. Yeah, she has the same shoes. We saw it in Texas Roadhouse. They had shoes that looked almost identical. Yeah, they're just playing. Yeah, it's fun. But they get loud. But we saw them leave Texas Roadhouse, get up out of their booth. They're walking. Both of them have their hands in their pocket. They're right in sync with each other. They walk exactly the same. Okay, want to be sleuth, and I'll look. And so for me, seeing that video, seeing them walk exactly the same, guys, it could have been Katie that took out the trash. Because nobody can confirm, not even FBI, that was Sebastian, because it was very dark and very grainy, because Katie didn't have lights that lit up her driveway conveniently the day before she took them all down. Lolly, do you remember the first X post SF made about Seth? That man lost all credibility that day to me. Oh, he's been bad. And you know, this is another one. They've done Seth really bad as well. But look how all of them over there, all of them, went on the attack against Bullhorn Betty. Yes, September, they did. They both had black tops and white bottoms. Even the man that was standing by that pillar that I believe was actually Christopher Proudfoot had his legs crossed the same way at the ankle that Chris was doing at the Harley Davidson shop. Right here, let me show you. Even he had on shoes that pretty much match Sebastian's, except for these at the Harley shop. Oh, let me take off the trigger warning. Sorry, guys. There you go. But at Texas Roadhouse, he's got black shoes, white soles, standing the same, foot's the same. But Katie and Seth, they did have the same type of shoe. It may not have been the exact brand, but they were black. They were both white. Yeah. And whoever took out the trash had a hoodie on because they had the hood up. Yes. Yes. I remember that. But the person taking the trash out had their hood up. Sebastian was wearing a short sleeve t-shirt, y'all. He didn't have a hoodie on. Why would he go in to change, to come back out? Because he would have changed to get ready for bed. He would have took the trash out in the clothes he had on. That's it. 7 true. Exactly. The only one who had a hoodie on that night was KP. 100% legit. We saw it with our own eyes. And they walk the same. I'll do a video clip of that and I'll make a post of it. They walk the same, in sync with each other as they're leaving their table, walking around and walking out. They're in sync with each other. They walk the same. Tennis shoes look very close to the same. And Katie had a hoodie on. Well, guys, listen, I'm going to let y'all get out of here. I'm going to let y'all get going for the night. But thank you all for being there or being here with me tonight. Thank you for listening to all of that. Like I said, I apologize. And I appreciate you guys thinking. And I say that without, I don't want to sound ugly when I say it because I don't want to say like you're never think, but thank y'all for being able to think outside of the box. Thank y'all for being able to say, oh, look, let's, think of it this way. Wonder if that's the guy that went to the bathroom before Sebastian at Texas Roadhouse. Kiki, yes, that's who I'm thinking it is. Yes, yes, yes. And Kiki, thank you so much for that. Hang tight. I got something for you right here, right here, right here. Thank you so much, Kiki, for that super chat. And yes, girl, I think that's exactly who it is, the guy with the black shirt and everything. So, yeah, thank you for that. And thank you guys for being who you are, because great conversations, great thoughts. And I know, like I said earlier, it is hard to have those heartstrings being pulled and being kind of stuck in one space on your thought process. But you guys are amazing, and y'all can see outside of that little boxed area. And that's what it's going to take for all of us. And so we'll continue. We'll continue to call everything out as we're seeing it. We'll continue to push and fight for Sebastian, because he deserves it so, so much. So guys, y'all be safe out on these streets. Take care of yourself. Everybody that's in the path of this winter storm, y'all stay safe, stay warm, and just keep being who you are, because you guys rock. Y'all are amazing. So I'll be back again tomorrow, same time. Hope to see y'all again tomorrow. Love and hugs, everybody. Good night.
Thank